Hello and welcome to Finextra TV. We're here reporting from UK Fintech Week in London at the IFGS Summit. And with me now is Jaidev Janardana, CEO of Zopa. Jaidev, thank you very much for taking the time to speak with us.
Thank you for having me.
Really good to have you on. You've just come off stage for your opening fireside session, Fintech CEO series, and a really good one and helpful one as well, because you really set the scene and talked about the impact on the fintech sector, on the rest of the world really. So perhaps you could start by relaying some of the opening comments you made.
Yeah, so we were reflecting on what fintech has done, and I was talking about how the impact fintech has had on the UK consumers. And I'd kind of classify that in, I think, three different ways. One of them is really the upliftment that we have done to the experience of using a financial services product. We have made it much more digital, much more instant. The products are easier and intuitive to understand. And as a result of the fintechs actually innovating in that space, the incumbents have had to follow, which means the overall experience has really been uplifted. Financial inclusion is another thing. A lot of, while I wouldn't say that Zopa themselves have been into financial inclusion, we know that a lot of other players have really increased the amount of consumers, businesses who have access to products. And that's, again, a huge impact that the industry has had. But the one that I would love to focus on, the third one, is really how much money we have saved. Right? In the world today, when there is a cost of living crisis, I think people having more of their money in their pockets is a very good thing. And across the board, be that traveling abroad, wanting to borrow money, wanting to save money, we have really improved the value that people are getting from their financial services product. Just focusing on savings, for example, I think just this year alone, our internal estimates indicate that the UK consumers will have about 600 million more in interest on their savings if they actually, given that they're banking with some of the neobanks and the fintechs rather than the incumbent industries. So that's one great example of what we are doing to really help this cost of living crisis and have people have more of their money.
And that's right. You did cover a few of the more turbulent times fintech has weathered, starting from the financial crisis all the way back then, the more recent fintech winter, and like you say, the cost of living crisis. So how have you seen fintech evolve through those times?
Yeah, I mean, I see two or three things. One, I think a lot more focus on the business model. I think we have been, I would say that we have been one of those fintechs who've always been focused on a sustainable business model. By that I mean a business model that can generate strong unit economics and actually deliver value and is self-sustaining. And we've seen a lot of the industry actually really focus on that, and I would expect more companies to become profitable, and I see that as a good next step in the evolution of this industry, which I think is a very positive thing. The second thing I think that I've been incredibly proud of is how fintechs have stepped in to really help customers through these difficult times. I would like to call out the Fintech Pledge, which is a coalition of about 34 fintechs that Zopa has led, which really focuses on helping customers take actions by themselves to improve their financial well-being. We are focused on delivering about 10 million actions for customers, be that moving their money to a higher savings account, consolidating their debt, and thus lowering their cost of debt. And the coalition aims to deliver about 10 million actions by 2025. I think we will over-deliver on that. We launched in September. We've delivered nearly 3 million actions. About 600,000 or so were from Zopa alone. And I see that as, again, a very positive thing where the fintech industry is taking responsibility and trying to help the consumers through a very difficult time.
All right, that's really exciting. Watch this space, safe to say, and as you say, it's the customer that's really benefiting from all of this as well.
Thank you.
And yes, I know that you're going to be speaking on stage later as well around regulation. It's called The Power of Proactivity, Why Regulation Now Will Pay Off Later. That's going to be a really interesting one, and you'll also be focusing on Buy Now, Pay Later 0.2. So tell us a little bit about that and what's the impact been there.
So that session is really about Buy Now, Pay Later and how we think good regulation can actually help there. So Buy Now, Pay Later has been was a big success in terms of consumer adoption. And when we looked at that product, we found some concerns. And some of that growth we felt was unsustainable, because I think on both fronts, from a customer standpoint, they were potentially signing up for things without fully realizing that it was credit, They were not getting the benefit of actually building their credit through using these products because there was no reporting into the bureaus. What that meant is that a lot of customers ended up taking credit, which probably they regretted later. From a provider standpoint, also it did make sense because it was focused on very small ticket items, so there was not enough, I could say, unit economics in the product. And because there was not widespread reporting of the borrowing that was being done, it was hard to keep track of which customer has borrowed that much and whether it was responsible to continue to lend to them or not. And as a result, I think default rates in general have gone up. So we feel regulation that focuses on ensuring that that proper credit checks are done before credit is given out, that customers understand that this is credit and what are the repercussions of them actually missing out on payments, and they're clear about that, and actually reporting some of that behavior into the bureau so that other lenders can know what is happening to those consumers and thus make responsible decisions for them. I think those are the things that can be actually very beneficial for the sector, and that is what BNPL 2.0 is all about. And we think the regulation that is being talked about today takes us in that direction. We, Zopa, have taken a proactive step there, where we've started. We acquired a BNPL provider, and we started lending them through them in April. But our focus is actually in meeting some of these needs that we talked about and making sure that it's done the right way, even if that means that the growth is going to be slower.
Yeah, that's right. That is the road to success, and some very good advice weaved in to that response as well. But Jaidev, I'd love to speak to you a little bit longer, but we'll leave it there. I'll let you get back to the event. Thank you very much.
Thank you.